Hi everyone, and welcome to Character Animation. I'm just at the home screen right now. We've got 16 modules, one module for every week, and it's 100% an online class. So we will not be meeting at any point in person. You can always reach out to me if you'd like to meet to discuss anything. I'm available by appointment for in-person, or we can just email or Zoom, whatever needs to be done. So again, asynchronous, so no scheduled meeting times. There are due dates each week. The rest can be done on your own time. I'm going to post weekly videos to go over what to expect and what we're going to be doing. So let's head on over to the modules. The modules are where this class kind of lives. So you can always look at the online technology support. The hub at St. Xavier is top-notch, so make sure you're using them if you have any issues. I have a question and answer discussion board. This is just a board. I look at it. Your fellow students look at it. You can click subscribe here. And if anyone has any questions, if a tool isn't working, if you notice there was a job posting for a character animator, whatever it is, you can post here and we can talk about it. We've got kind of standard things below about academic writing, copyright and plagiarism. We're going to get further into that in the syllabus. But then you have week 1. So each week, again, it's going to start Monday at 12:01 in the morning, Monday morning, and our weeks end at 11:59 p.m. Sunday night. So your first task will be to watch the week 1 video, but you're doing that, so great work. We're going to take a very introductory look at Maya and principles, but let's take a look here. Welcome to Character Animation. What is character animation? This is an introductory level 3D animation course, so we will be using all 3D. We're going to use industry standard techniques and principles and apply them to action sequences with characters. I have a couple of rigs that we're going to use throughout the term. Know that the possibilities are endless, but we're going to get a good start, and you're going to kind of see how different rigs work here. Character animation is generally defined as the art of making a particular character move in 2- or 3-dimensional context. We're focusing in 3D. It's a process central to the concept of animation. We're going to use Autodesk Maya. I'll get into that in a second. So, 100% online learning environment. Any issues navigating the course? Here's some tips. We begin Monday morning through Sunday night. Make sure you check the announcements. You should also get an email whenever I post an announcement, and then you can start with the week 1 module. We're going to look at the syllabus in 1 second. Online technology and support here at St. Xavier. I just like to have a page, again, how do you contact the hub and any issues you may run into. I'm always here for any questions. You can email me about anything. Some things I might, forward you over to the hub because they would know that better than me. Contact the professor. That's me. I'm Jen. If you haven't had me before, I've been teaching in the art and design department since 2019. I was adjunct at first and then I became full-time. Main importance here though, take note of my email, jfuller@sxu.edu. Feel free to email me whenever, day, night, it doesn't matter. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. This is my phone number if you need it, and my office is in the Visual Arts Center. You can click here. Here's the address, but always feel free to stop by. Okay? So I'm going to get rid of my little section of the screen so you can really see the background here. All right, let's look over at the syllabus. So most of this is pretty standard information, but I do want to make sure that we just kind of take a closer look at it, make sure everything makes sense. So again, character animation, all the information about me, just a little tidbit about me. I've been interested in graphic design and game design since before college. I really love character animation because for me it is bringing something to life. You could have a big bulky character that's like a robot or something heavy, but then you could make it dance ballet so gracefully. You're bringing an extra aspect of that character to life. So I'm really excited to see what you all think about animation. You're going to be able to apply traditional animation concepts on a 3D character. combine motion of camera and character effectively, staging, and focusing on composition. A lot of the principles of graphic design still carry over here, and you're going to render out your animations to videos. State and Savior mission statement. None of the texts, we don't have any texts that are required for this class. At the end of the term, make sure you complete your SEIs. It's really important to me as a teacher and, of course, the university. I do take comments very seriously. We'll get that. I'll remind you when it kind of comes out. Office hours. Some of the topics that we're going to be discussing. If we have some time, I'd like to get to weight and dual characters, but we'll see. Accommodations. If you need accommodations, please contact the Center for Accessibility. Make sure you're adhering to academic integrity and academic honesty. Plagiarizing. In art, it can be a real challenge to deal with plagiarizing. You may see an idea and then change it and make it your own, but it still wasn't your original idea. If you're ever concerned about plagiarism, you can always talk to me about it. My guess, though, is if you're concerned you're plagiarizing, it probably isn't a good idea. Just make sure you're doing 100% your own work. And again, we can talk about it if you have any questions. I want you to live up to academic standard. Really here, I want to create a fun, respectful, open environment. To me, the two most important things are communication and respect. Everyone here is learning the same thing. Everyone deserves respect, and we're gonna, try to get to know each other through discussion boards and some other things. So hopefully you can really meet your classmates, get to know them, network a little bit. And then, just communicate. If something is going on, let me know something is going on. I don't need necessarily all of the details, but I don't want you to just kind of fall off the course. This course does build week by week, and I want to make sure you're still on track. Please let me know any name that you would like to go by. I have a discussion board actually this week, so feel free, the school roster may say something completely different or even just a nickname. Let me know, and I will address you like that throughout the term. Again, letting me know what's going on. And then our department-specific requirements. So if you are going to the VAC, make sure you know that you cannot park there, okay? There is a shuttle that goes from Ward every 10 minutes, and as soon as that shuttle schedule gets posted, I will make an announcement and post that as well. You'll need to swipe into the Visual Arts Center, so make sure you always have your ID. Sometimes the swipe card, if you set off the alarm, you can call these numbers, okay? Last but not least, if you are an art major or minor, major really, you're required to submit a portfolio every year. This will be in the spring term, but you should start compiling some of your work for that. All right, there's a little thunder in the background. So now to kind of dive into this first week, you're going to need to download Maya. You may use the computer lab at the Visual Arts Center. All of the computers in the lab have it, and then even in the kind of downstairs lounge area, those computers will have it as well. Make sure we are dealing with an educational one-year license, okay? If you are going to download it on your own computer, it is completely free. You are not paying the thousands of dollars that the software can cost. But you're going to need to make a login with your SXU email. So you need to use your student email to be able to get the educational one-year license. Again, this is not a trial. This is not a paid service. Those are options, so make sure you're doing the correct one. The deal here is if you were to freelance or get a job, you can't use the educational version for it. You cannot make money using the free student download, but you are allowed to use it for any class assignments, any work that you're doing while you're at school, okay? So there's a link here for the details. Again, you can go to the computer lab. They can also be interchangeable. So if you want to download it on your computer, Some days you work at home, sometimes you work in a lab, that's fine too. But I need you to make sure you have access to one or the other, okay? So we'll go over here. Now, no matter if you are using the lab or if you're downloading, you're gonna need to create an account. So educational access, for you, you'll need to create an account. Make sure you're putting in, again, your SXU email. I'm different because I'm an educator. You will need to use your SXU email. You're going to need to validate that you are a student. This can take a little bit of time, so please do this as soon as possible and keep me updated. Of course, doesn't match. Give me 1 second so I can just show you. We are going to be downloading Maya 2023. It's the most recent version, or 2022. Currently in the lab, they have 2022. Again, you can go back and forth between the two. There won't be any issues. The changes between the two are pretty limited, and we won't be doing anything that is specific to one version or the other. 2022 takes up a little less space, nothing crazy. You can also see, lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Oh, you can also see what computer specifications you'll need, but we're just going to scroll down. Now with this, you can get any software that you want, but we're going to be using Maya. Yours will not say activate class. There we go. Yours will say get product. So again, Maya. I have a Mac. You can use a Mac or PC, 2023 or 2022, English, and then you'll hit download. You do want to make sure you have a pretty reliable internet connection because this is a pretty large software package. Okay? So you're going to want to do that as soon as possible. Get it downloading, get your login set, and let me know if you have any problems. You're going to email me, okay? You're going to send an email to let me know the best way to contact you. This is due Wednesday by midnight. Now, with my online courses, you will always have a due date on Sunday, and you will have some due dates on Wednesday. Those are the only 2 days of the week that you could possibly have something due. 8 times out of 10, it's going to be due Sunday. But we will have some discussion posts, some lighter assignments that may be due Wednesday, like this, for instance. So email me from your SXU email. Do not use the email in here, please. Go to your, mymail.sxu.edu and just send an email with the name of the class and your name. Include the name that you would like to be called, your SXU email. I know it's coming from there, but just to repeat, have you been able to successfully download Maya, or are you willing to use the lab? Please provide details and any questions you might have. It's a great way to just start contact with me and making sure you have my email as well. So due Wednesday. Then here's the discussion board that I kind of talked about earlier. So you're going to take a moment to introduce yourself. Again, online classes can be challenging, not seeing everybody that's in the class. So this is a really important way to get to know people, see what you have in common. Try to at least meet 2 people. I mean, you have to respond to at least 2 students, but just try to make it a thing to start connecting with certain people. So take a moment to tell the class about yourself. So hi, I'm Jen Fuller. I'm from Ohio, but I have lived in Chicago for the past 15 years. I am very interested in character animation. Finding Nemo was the animated film that got me first interested in 3D and animation. I also love baking. I've been making macarons recently, and it's a nice way to relax and still be creative. My favorite video games or animations, I recently finished Subnautica. That's a pretty fantastic game if you haven't played it. Movie-wise, I mean, Pixar, for me, takes the cake. They have a formula for what works well, and they run with it. Then, what are your professional goals? My major is graphic design. Currently, I am unemployed to focus on college. I would love to be a character animation professor. Guess what? I am. All right, what are some frustrations or anxieties you have about an online class or the subject matter? I've never done this before. I'm nervous I'm going to miss deadlines, whatever it is. And I promise I'll work it out with you and it won't be a frustration or anxiety by the end of the class. Oh, and that is initial post due Wednesday. We're hitting the ball rolling, and your responses due Sunday. I want to see a minimum of 2 responses. Okay, your first assignment in Maya. You're going to create a cube in Maya and take a screenshot. This will show me that you were able to download Maya, get into the software, and create a shape. This also shows me, if you're going to use the lab, that you know how to get into the lab. So it's going to look something like this. Okay? So to do this, we have to get used to Maya, right? So here's Maya. I just opened it up. The one thing that you are going to need for this course, 100%, is a mouse. You cannot use a trackpad. It has to be an external mouse, so not the little rolly ball on some laptops, but an actual mouse. Okay? So this is Maya. I'm not going to get too in-depth this week because the main thing I want to make sure is that everyone is able to download it. That's all. You're not gonna fall behind if you're running into issues here. This is called your viewport. Down here you can see it says persp. That's for perspective. Okay? Again, I'm going to start very simply. To create a cube, you can go into this poly modeling tab. Poly stands for polygon. A polygon primitive is just a shape that is made up of faces. Faces are like 4-sided planes. So all I'll do is click on the cube and it will make a cube right in the center. I can also go to create, polygon, make sure you're not doing NURBS, polygon, and then I can go to cube. They're overlapping right now. But you can see I have cube 1, cube 2. I'm going to delete cube 2. You can just hit delete on your keyboard. Now, with this mouse, if you use your scrolly wheel in the middle, you can zoom in and zoom out. If you hold Command or Control and push down on your middle mouse, you can pan left to right. Just panning. If I hold Control or Command and I use the left mouse button, I can actually rotate around my shape. Okay, so we're just going to focus on those viewport rotations and commands for today. The other thing you can use up here, it's called your view cube. You can click and drag this to rotate around. If you wanted to look at the back view, bottom, whatever it is. I personally like the freedom that your mouse gives you. But once you create the cube, set it up, create a screenshot, Command-Shift-3 on a Mac gives you a screen grab. You can hit print screen on a PC and then open up Word, Photoshop, whatever you're comfortable with, and paste it in there. When you do a screen grab on a Mac, it just automatically puts it on your desktop, and then you'll go into Canvas and submit it. Now, I would highly recommend you go further than just creating a cube. You want to be very comfortable navigating in Maya, because if we can't use the tools appropriately, we're going to run into more issues. So you can always create more shapes. You can click on any of these. I will tell you, W on your keyboard is your move tool. Once you have your move tool, this is called a gizmo. There are 3 arrows, and I will go over this again next week. 3 arrows, one for each axis line. So, in X, we can move the object left to right. Y, we can move it up and down, and then Z, you can move it closer or further away. So you can move shapes and then, rotate around and see, like try to align some shapes. So maybe I move this up here. If you pull from the middle, you can move in any direction. If you just grab one arrow, it doesn't matter which way you go, it just puts it on there. So, try to line something up. And then if you rotate your view, you can see, oh, these actually aren't aligned at all. Okay, again, there are lots of ins and outs of Maya, and some of you may have used Maya already, some of you are brand new, and that's totally fine. We'll get you all in the same spot, but just get really used to the viewport and these shapes. Okay, make a snowman, make a little scene. Again, we're going to go over more details, but you want to zoom, pan, and rotate. You want to feel very comfortable with that. And again, you're going to need an external mouse. So luckily on Amazon, if you need to purchase one, you can get one for like $4 or $5. It doesn't need to be a fancy mouse, nothing crazy, just an external mouse. Okay? Again, you can create polygon primitives. NURBs are non-uniform rational B-spline. And basically, a NURB is the series of edges that make up a shape, whereas polygons are made up of these faces. So any shape that I click on, you can see I've got a four-sided face here. The cube is probably the easiest to see. If you hit F on your keyboard, it focuses in on one of the objects, but you can see a four-sided face. I'll just show you this real quick. This is a face. So a cube is 6 faces. And that's what makes something a polygon. Whereas these edges, that is what a NURB primitive is used for. Anyway, we will get to how to do all those special details, but make sure you're creating polygon primitives. You can use any of these that you want. Click it, rotate around it, move it, see whatever you think. Okay? If there are any questions, don't hesitate. You can always reach out. I'm only looking to see one cube in the viewport, but you can always feel free to go beyond that. Submit by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. And that's the end of week 1. So this week, again, I've kept things a little bit shorter because I really just need to see that you are either comfortable getting to the lab and using the software there, or that you're able to download your own version. You'll have to email me, you'll have to participate in the discussion board, and you'll need to take that screenshot. Okay? I hope you have a wonderful week 1, and I will talk to you soon.